Hi everyone, we wanted to take the opportunity to make a quick video on LeagueOS, just highlighting some of the walkthroughs and workflow for how to create teams, manage your teams, remove players both from your school and from respective teams, how to register teams for competition, how to check to make sure your registration, specifically your players, have met all the registration requirements, and the process for checking in for both preseason matches and club matches. Let's start with how to create teams. So you want to navigate to your school. Uh, Along the bottom, it might be in one of these frequently used icons. If not, you can go to the schools tab that has every school and search for your specific one. When you open up your school page, you'll notice there's an invite button at the top. So this is how you'll invite students to your school page. Uh, this button is located here on Teams as well. So make sure that you're on your Snyder High School page. In my case, your school name will be here. In the breadcrumbs, it'll also be along the top as the title. When you hit invite, you'll have an option for how many days the invite will be live, the max number of uses. You'll want to select player and then activate and copy that link. You can then share it to all of your players who need to be able to join your school. If you have assistant coaches you want to join your LeagueOS page, what you'll do is the same invite, but you'll choose manager instead and activate that link and then share that with your managers who are your assistant coaches. Once you have everyone onto your school page, you can check on the members tab to see who all is there. But really, probably the first thing you want to do is look at your teams tab for your school. This is where all of your teams live, and this is where you'll be able to manage them, but also create new teams. So if you want to create a new team, you'll use the create button on the top right part of the screen. You'll name it. So maybe I want to make a Rocket League club team. Standard practice and good procedure is to include your school name in your team name in addition to the activity and what level. Activity means the game type. So this is very important. You have to set an activity type for each of your games. Make sure you have the correct one. For some of them, there's a different format. Our Rocket League is 3v3, so make sure you choose that from the drop-down box. Skill tier is either club or varsity, depending on which team you're creating. Most of our teams are going to fit the co-ed category. Underrepresented is for what we're going to use for our unified. And then color tag is going to be used to identify each of your teams in a given activity. So this can be school colors or whatever you like. Just use a different one for each team in that activity, and then you should be good. So maybe I'll choose black for this one. Hit create, and then it pops up and will take you to a new team. Mine will not because I already have a Rocket League black team here, but yours will pop up with a new team. After you create all of your teams, you might want to manage some of them. For instance, if I want to go into my Overwatch varsity team, one of the things that I can do is look at the members list and see who is here. I can make sure my assistant coaches have the manager tag. I can put a coach tag for some assistance if I need to. But this is mostly where you want to adjust settings for your team. You can come in here to the settings tab. Notice this top is the same, this banner, for most pages you're on within your school. Again, check the breadcrumbs here to figure out where specifically you're at. So this is the settings page for my varsity Overwatch team. From here, I can access the team profile and the league profile. Now, the team profile is a general profile that exists outside of Indiana Esports Network on LeagueOS. So this could be registering this same team for other competitions, be they like interstate all-star type tournaments, the LeagueOS Scholastics League, VHEL, the Valhalla Esports League, like we talked about. You don't have to create new teams for all these different organizations. This team profile is synced across them. The league profile is just Indiana Esports Network and what we will see. Notice here at the bottom, this is the league state where you can choose to remove teams if you want. What you're really going to do is just mark them inactive. Inactive kind of removes it from being able to register in new events. It can also kind of be hidden from some screens. So if you have a team that you're not using, you can change the league state to inactive under your league profile, not the team profile. You also can go to administration and check and make sure that everyone who needs access here has access in your access control list. If they don't, that's where you can modify that. And importantly, if we go to the members under user for this team, so at the top settings, left side members, this will show me all the members of this team. It'll highlight all the active ones. And this is where I know a lot of people have been asking, how do we remove players from teams? It's via this menu here. So for individual players, we can find the gear icon, and we can change the member state to any number of things that make sense. Removed if the player is definitely off the team and gone. Graduated is a nice one for your seniors. Whatever makes sense for you in terms of a tag to use. But any of these that are not active will remove that player from the roster. So that is how you remove players from individual teams. Now, if you want to remove a player from your school, because again they graduated, they no longer attend, you want to go back to your school page in the breadcrumbs at the top. We're still going back to settings, we're still going to members over here, but notice now this member list is every member of my school, not just members of that specific team. I can still follow the same process, find someone who has graduated, come over here to the edit button, and change their member state. This will, again, kind of hide them from a lot of the UI so that it looks cleaner in terms of managing your entire school. So yeah, again, removing members from your school, beyond the school tab, go to settings. To remove members from a specific team, choose a team from your teams list, go to settings, and look at members. This will remove members from that team. Once you have all of your teams set up, if you want to go register them, you can. The easiest way to do that is from the home page on LeagueOS, which you can get to by clicking the IEN logo on the top left. Scroll down a little bit, and you'll notice we have categories for unified, middle school, and high school. And you'll see the competitions within each category. So let's say I want to register for high school club Smash Brothers. I'll come in here. There's a register your team button on the right. And what you might notice is you don't have access to pick a specific team. This is really prompting you to register and create a new team. If you don't see this, that's fine. I'll show you what it should look like in a second. But if you do see this, the problem is you are not on your specific roster. So I can go back to my teams page and find one of my Smash Brothers rosters. And if I go to members, I'll notice my IEN account is here, but my Snyder Esports account is not. So if you notice that, you can search for yourself, add yourself as a manager. So this is how you change member roles. If you click the gear icon next to a member of the roster, I want to change myself from a player to a manager. When that saves, you'll see the little icon change here. Now I can go back to my Club Smash Brothers. And when I hit register your team, I can choose this team that I'm a member of. And then I can hit submit and register that team. Once your team is registered, it'll take you to this screen. This screen is also, if I go to the competition page, go to rosters at the top. On the left side, you'll see your specific roster. On the right side, you'll see all of the competition rosters that have already been confirmed. When you want to manage your roster, what you can do here is click the gear, and it'll load into this page like we saw earlier. From here, there's a few different things we can do. We can look and see who is currently on the competition roster and has met all the requirements. So I haven't fully set all these players up yet. This is still my last year roster, but I can come in and click this little plus button, and I can add them up here as players to this roster. If I know there are some players on my team that aren't quite added yet, I can search. And if I had anyone that I knew their name for, it would pop up. And then I could add them to this roster as well by clicking the plus button, and then they would get added up here. Then from this screen, what you can also do is check their registration requirements. So at the club level, there are not any. You'll notice the team is already selected and the registration is done. But for some of them, like varsity, it might have an additional requirement. So let's take a look at one of those. If I go to Varsity Valorant, for instance, and go look at mine, you'll notice my team is confirmed. It shows up over here on the right. If I hit the gear button, we'll be able to see why. Because I can click on each individual player here, and then the right pop-out will show me how many steps they have completed. Specifically for Varsity, it will tell me whether or not they have made their game connection for this respective game. So you can tell if they have the green check mark here in this screen, and you can check over here for this green check mark, they have made their correct connections. If I look and someone has not, it'll tell me what step they are missing. In all of our cases, for Varsity, it will be that they have not connected their game connection. So this is how you can check if they've made that connection or not. The only other one that will be different is Minecraft. So if we took a look at Minecraft, Minecraft has another requirement in that there's a manual approval. So for Minecraft, even if you have done the steps, we might have to still come in and verify that you have rented your space on CompMC. Once we have done that, then you should see your team completed. Minecraft does not require a specific game connection for the students, just that CompMC validation. Smash Brothers is another unique scenario. Smash Brothers also does not require a game connection for your individual students. You can just register your roster as is. Last thing, I want to show you how to check in for club. So we'll go back to this club SSVU page, and if you want to have a preseason match, varsity or club, we're running preseason queues instead of pre-scheduled matches, or you're ready to compete in a club match during the season, what you'll do is you'll come to the rosters tab on your game. You'll hit the little gear icon, and there's a button down here that says Activate Team. You'll make sure that your team is activated, and it is activated when it says Deactivate Team. I know that's a little bit confusing, but that's when your team is activated, is once it says Deactivate Team. So you'll do that. If you want to verify with someone in IEN that you've done that correctly the first time or two, that's okay. But once your team is active, then you'll be checked in and ready for a club match. So hopefully this was all helpful. Remember, the registration deadline is the 6th of September, which is coming up. We have help sessions coming up this week, Tuesday and Thursday, if you need help, or reach out to one of us on Discord, and we'll be happy to get you going.